Hello, welcome to Selfless Yoga. I'm Christine, and I'm excited for you to be here today to practice. I know it's been really cold weather where we live in America. It's where I'm located. And so I'm wishing everyone safety and warmth. And I thought to myself, this would be a great way to heat up our body, calm our nervous system, and just be, especially in moments of stress and discomfort. This practice is here for you. So I'm excited to be live again. Today we're going to do a little bit of a different class. We're going to do an Ashtanga short form class. It's a vinyasa, it's Ashtanga Vinyasa. And the goal of this practice is to not to do the complete primary series. We're just going to choose a couple of poses within the Ashtanga Vinyasa lineage. And we're going to go ahead and just play with some poses and see how it goes. Now, traditionally, Ashtanga Vinyasa doesn't use like props, but today we're using props. I'm all about props, even though I practice Ashtanga. Certain poses I've noticed since I've been using blocks or straps, it has allowed me to become more open. And then with time, you don't even need the block anymore. So I think it's a tool to really help you to modify the pose. And the big thing with Ashtanga Vinyasa, it's breath with movement. And there's a Tristana, which basically what it is where you're focusing on your breath, Ujjayi breath, breath with sound. And you are also using your bandhas, your Uddiyana and Mula Bandha, which is your belly in and up, and your pelvic floor slightly in and up during your practice. This helps with allowing you to be lighter, allow you to kind of help you prevent yourself from getting into injury and feeling heavy. It just helps your body move a little bit more smoothly throughout your practice. And then there's something called dristi, which is a point of focus. Where are you focusing? Are you focusing on your nose? Are you focusing on your hands? Because we're trying with this practice to allow the mind to be steady and allow it to be in a movement with meditation, and to say that you're trying to steady the mind and let it focus, because the mind's a monkey mind. It's going to go all over the place. So with this practice, you're reminded to keep all those things into your back of your mind. So when you are moving through the postures, you're able to be more calm and focused. Okay, so I think we're going to get started. I think everyone should be here. If not, there's one person. I'm excited to be here with you. And the replay will be available for you at any point. So the one thing today, it is a little bit not traditional, but I wanted to put in some positive affirmations. And so some music you may hear in the background is not to really for you to focus on, but it's just if you hear a couple of positive words, just keep your mind into kind of more calm. But traditionally, it's usually no music, but I wanted to switch it up today. So I hope you enjoy it. Maybe lightly in the background. So as you're sitting here, we're going to put our hands into palm center and just start to close your eyes. Starting to relax your shoulders away from your ears. Elongate your spine. And start to feel your breath. No judgment, just feeling how the breath feels in this moment. And as you sit here, start to think about an intention for this practice today. Maybe saying to yourself in your mind a mantra like, I'm just going to try my best. I have trust in myself, trust in the practice, and I'm just showing up with an open heart. And maybe there's something different, but this is how I feel. And so if you don't have something you don't think of, an intention, those are some options to think about as you practice today. One more breath. and exhale. So I'm going to pause the music and I'm going to say the Ashtanga Vinyasa opening mantra. If you know it, you can sing along with me. If you don't know it, it's good too. You can listen to it. And this mantra, this opening mantra, is really to help guide you through your practice, bringing you back within yourself, knowing that there's protection with this lineage of yoga, Ashtanga Vinyasa, Patanjali, who has gave us the beauty of the 8 limbs of yoga. And I'll have a future video on that. And just it'll help us to guide us through this practice. Okay, palm center, inhale. Om. Vande Gurunam Charanara Vende Sandara Shita Swatma Sukava Bodhe Nisre Yase Jangalika Yamane Samsara Hala Hala Mohashantiye Abahu Purushankaram Shankachakra Sidahinam Sarasra Sirasam Swetam Pranamami Patanjalim Om. And now we rise. So we're going to start at the top of our mat into Samasthiti, toes touching, heels slightly spread apart. Now, if you can't do that, as long as your feet in a closed position, just want to make sure you have a good alignment of your knee to hip to feet, okay? And you stand here in Samasthiti. And as you stand here, ground through the ground below you, engaging the thighs, and start to do Ujjayi breath, keeping the abdomen in and up, breathing through your chest. And slowly open your eyes. Inhale, palms overhead. Look up at your hands. Exhale, hinge from your hips. Forward fold. You can put your hands on your thighs or front of your shins, or same line as your feet. Inhale, halfway lift, flat spine. Exhale, palms down, step back into a high plank. Slowly come forward into chaturanga. You can always drop your feet into this pose. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, tuck your toes in. Downward facing dog. Step your feet in. Feet are hip distance wide. Grounding through your hands. Bring your head through. Looking between your legs. Belly button. And breathe here. 2. 3. 4. And 5. And the last exhale, bring your hips back. Inhale, step or walk into a halfway lift. Looking in between your third eye. Exhale, forward fold. Maybe bend your knees, drop your head. And inhale, palms overhead. Exhale, Samasthiti. We go again. I'm going to do it from the side so you can see this time. Inhale, palms overhead. Nice straight spine. Exhale, hinge from your hips. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, palms down. Step or jump back into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathing here. At any point you feel tired, go down into a child's pose. 2. Always listening to your body and being proud that you're showing up today. 4. Really ground through your palms. Roll your shoulders away from your ears. Inhale, step or jump into a halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees, abdomen to thigh connection. Inhale, palms overhead. Exhale, Samasthiti. I'll step here again. We're going to do one more round of A. Let's take a moment here. Stand here, feeling your breath, noticing your heart beating, maybe noticing warm within. And knowing that today this is maybe challenging because it's cold outside. You may not be as flexible. It's not about flexibility. It's about showing up and being here for yourself and being proud of yourself. And I'm so happy you're here to join me today. One more breath. One more round of A. Inhale. Palms overhead. Exhale. Hinge from your hips into a forward fold. Bend your knees. Drop your head. Inhale. Halfway lift. Flat spine. Exhale, palms down. Maybe go onto your knees and slowly come down into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, lengthening through the spine. Exhale, downward facing dog. 1. Open your palms wide, really ground through your palms. 2. Roll your shoulders away from your ears. 4. Really bring your hips up and back. 1 more breath. Hips back. Inhale, step or jump. Halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, palms overhead. Exhale, Samasthiti. Now we're going to do Surya Namaskar B. The difference with B is we do chair pose, Utkatasana. So your feet are in the same position as Samasthiti, but you're sitting like you're sitting in a chair. And your palms are up and you're tucking your tailbone in, engaging. Okay? And in between the chaturangas, which you've done before, you're going to come into Virabhadrasana, warrior pose. So the first round, I'll go really slow, and then we'll go with another pace. Now, if at any point you feel tired, go into child's pose. I do it all the time. I listen to my body, and I just try my best. You've got this. Inhale, palms up, chair pose, Utkatasana. Exhale, hinge from your hips, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, palms down, step back, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Here, stay for a moment, left foot diagonal, step your right leg forward. Bend into that front foot, palms on your, and really square your hips. We're going slow, focusing on alignment and bringing your palms all the way up. If you can, or you keep it at the heart center or on your waist. Perfect too. Exhale, palms down. Step back, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now pause. Right foot diagonal. Left foot, you step to where your hands are, if possible, or slowly walk into it. Palms up, if you can. Prayer center. Nice long spine. Exhale, palms down. Step back, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. I'm going to breathe here for 5 breaths. 1. Engage through your core. 2. Focus on your Ujjayi breath. A few more breaths here. One more breath. Exhale. Inhale, step or jump into a halfway lift. Perfect. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose, Uttanam. Drop your hips down, palms up, and release. We could do it one more time. Take a moment. We fix your clothes. It's a moment of breath. Now, traditionally with Ashtanga Vinyasa, we do 5 Surya Namaskar A and 3 or 5 of Surya Namaskar B, because it's very important to really open our body, heat up our body, and it helps with detoxification, as well as when you're starting to do these poses that are in families, for example, which is beautiful, you're able to sit in those poses because everything's nice and warm. And you'll notice your body's able to get deeper into the pose. One more time. Toes touching, heels slightly spread apart. In Samasthiti. Inhale, hips down, palms up. Utkatasana. Exhale, hinge from your hips. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, palms down. Step back or jump into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left foot diagonal. Step your right foot between your hands. Take your time. Squaring your hips and slowly coming up. Exhale, palms down. Step back, chaturanga. Drop your knees if you need to. Inhale. And exhale. Right foot diagonal, step. Your left leg forward. Inhale, palms overhead. Exhale, palms down. Step back, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathing here. Three more breaths. One more breath. Step or jump, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale, bend your knees, drop your hips, palms up. Exhale, Samasthiti. So we're going to do a few forward folds. And it's really to open up your palms, really start to open up the back of your leg, your hamstrings. So if your hamstrings are tight, these poses really help. So stand at the top of your mat. I'm just doing another view for you. And just step your feet hip distance wide. So you see your feet, heel to hip alignment. Okay? Inhale, open your chest wide. Exhale, hinge from your hips, forward fold. Now bend your knees. It's okay. And then you can stay at your shin or grab your big toes with your index finger and middle finger. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold.
And bring your weight forward, bending your knees if you need to. And just trust yourself and come towards your toes and come forward. Bringing those elbows out to the side so you can see. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale. Decide if you want to stay here or bring your palms underneath your feet. Your toes are touching your wrist crease. Your index finger is underneath the arch of your feet. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. And this is a little bit deeper, so you may not be able to bend your elbows as far, and that's okay. Just breathing here, focusing on the breath, not focusing on how the posture looks or how it should be. Just do your best. And I'm proud of you just showing up and doing it. Just practice and breathe. 2 more breaths. Abundance flows. 1 more breath. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, palms on your hips. Take your time. Slowly come up and back into Samasthiti. Great. So we just did the first pose, stillness, within the Ashtanga Vinyasa. Padangusthasana, Padahastasana, which are your first standing forward folds. It's very intense. Now we're going to go ahead and do Udhita Trikonasana. Now there's a family Trikonasana. We're going to do Udhita Trikonasana, and then we're going to do I can't pronounce it right, horrible. But it's basically the revolve version of Trikonasana, which is the triangle pose, okay? Meaning that we're twisting. So the first one, we're not going to twist. The second one, we will. But we're going to do our left and our right side at the same time, then move on to the twisted version, left and right, which is unique of Ashtanga Vinyasa, okay? So stop at the top of your mat, palms down. Step your right leg behind you, palms out. Turn towards the back of your mat. Perfect. Now make sure you have a heel-to-heel alignment. Your left foot is either parallel to the front of your mat or slightly turned in. And then you're going to inhale, exhale, and go down. You can go here, your hand on your top of your shin. Your hand could be here. That's fine. If you want to go deeper, you can go here or grab your big toe and really open that chest nice and open. And breathe. You're in the right place, right time. It's very intense, but do what you can. 3 more breaths. 2, 1. Inhale, come up. Hands parallel. Switch. Still making sure heel to heel alignment or slightly stepped forward. And come on down where you feel comfortable. Bring that palm up, roll it, or bring out your hips. If your shoulders are tight, it's okay. Just keep it like this. This is perfect. Getting all the benefits of the pose, no matter where you are with the modification. 3 more breaths. You can slightly bend that front leg if you need to, if that's too much. It's fine. 2 more breaths. Look up at your hand if you can, or look forward if your neck hurts. 1 more breath. And come up. Switch again. So now we're switching towards the back of our mat again. Then what I like to do is I bring my right hand on my right hip, and I turn my body so I make sure my hips are squared. Okay? So both my hip bones are towards the front of my mat or the back of my mat. And inhale, elongate the spine. Exhale, hinge from the hip. And today we're going to use a block. And then you're going to bring your hands here, or you can bring it behind for a deeper stretch. And bring your palm up. If that feels okay, you can always bring the block to a lower setting. or no block at all. 2 more breaths. One more breath. And then inhale, come up. And we're going to switch. The palms are out. Turning your feet. And you're going to inhale, elongate your spine. Exhale, twist, either in front or behind. And you can keep your hand on your hip. If you want more, you extend that arm and really open your chest. 3 more breaths. 2 more breaths. 1. Inhale, come all the way back up. And come back to the top of your mat. And now just take a moment, standing at the top of your mat. And we're going to do a couple of seated poses. So if you have experience with vinyasas, we'll do Surya Namaskar A, but you'll sit in your, hold back into, basically you're going to stay in your downward facing dog, and you're going to step through to seated. Let's just try it. So go to the top of your mat, toes touching, heels slightly spread apart. Inhale, palms overhead. Exhale, hinge from your hips. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, palms down, step back. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, we'll meet in downward facing dog. Now just step through. Slowly and control into a seated position. Or just come down into a seated position. The first pose we're going to do is called Paschimottanasana, first forward fold. So you can have both your feet touching like you are, like you're in a standing position. Heels slightly spread apart if that's comfortable for you. And making sure your ankle, your knee, your hip is in a good alignment. Okay, and I'm going to do from the side so you can see the modification. Keep your knees nice and bent. And you can keep your hands here in forward fold with your chest forward. Or grab onto your toes, side of your feet, whatever feels best, or here. Inhale, lengthen through your spine, and exhale, forward fold. And slowly slide your feet forward, keeping that abdomen to thigh connection. And wherever you end up, it's good. You're doing amazing. Just breathing here. Inhale, halfway lift one more time. Exhale, forward fold. 1, 2. Really elongate your spine. 3, 4, 5. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale. And now we're just going to do a reverse tabletop position. Moment. Okay. So you're going to go ahead and bring both your feet parallel to each other. And then your palms are going to be behind you. Okay? And you're going to lift up into a reverse tabletop. And if you want more, it's called Purvattanasana. You extend your legs, bringing your toes to the ground and lifting your hips up. But here is perfect, just focusing on lifting. 2 more breaths. 1. And release down. Now bring your feet parallel to each other. Bring them wide, and then do some windshield wipers. So usually with Ashtanga Vinyasa, the standing poses, you don't do vinyasas. You'll just do the families and of the poses. Then when you go into seated, between each pose would be a vinyasa, which is sun A. And when you're in downward facing dog, you're stepping through between each side. Today, we're not going to do that. But that's something to think about. Over time, you'll be able to do that. But today, we're just focusing on opening our body and just showing you some poses. And so you can kind of see what this type of lineage of yoga is. Of course, what we're doing today is a modification and it's not traditional, but it doesn't matter. You're here. We're here. Now, cross your feet. Put your palms here and then inhale, chest up. Exhale, round. Doing some cat and cows. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Release. And those vinyasas between both sides is to basically balance your body. And that's why we usually do them. But when we did the windshield wipers and the cat and cow, we're kind of releasing the poses. So I think it's okay. So our next pose is going to be Janu Shirshasana. So we are going to go ahead and externally rotate the hip. Okay? So you're going to go ahead and bring your feet in, toes flat, and then drop this knee out to the side, soles against your thigh. And just make sure you're nice in a nice square, good position. And inhale and lengthen through the spine. Exhale, forward fold. And you don't have to grab like how I am. You can just keep your hands here and drop your head. But still bringing your chest forward, slight black bend, and coming down. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, and we're going to switch. Really flexing at that front foot, that's your right foot, okay? So keep everything active. Inhale, lengthen through the spine, and exhale, forward fold. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, and release. Windshield wipers again. And this time we could put our feet in a little closer and do it this way. It's kind of massage the sides of our thighs. And then cross again, cat and cows. These poses are in Sanskrit. So the next pose is called Triangle Mukha Ekapada Paschimottanasana. It is a tongue twister for sure. But what we're doing is we're internally rotating the hip. Okay, so first bring both your feet. I know, it's awesome. I love these cool names. But this is traditionally what they're called. So you're gonna have both your feet extended. And what I like to do is either take a pillow or a block on the extended side. Just put it underneath my seat. And then I turn my feet in. My knees turn in towards my hip. So my heel is towards my hip. Now making sure your heel is up towards the sky and the tops of your feet is down. Bringing your knees in if you can. If at any point you have any sharp numbness, tingling sensations in any part of your body during this practice, always come out of it. And this is really going to work on your hips. So yeah, just try your best. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, forward fold. And stay right here and breathe. 1, 2, and this is intense. Got to try to bring your body back centered. Might be leaning over to a side. 3, 4, 5. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale. And let's go ahead and switch. And just kind of rotate your ankles one direction, releasing and switching. So a block or a pillow if you want to, you don't have to. And then you take your feet internally, bringing it in. So your heel is by your sit bones on the side of your leg, looking at your soles of your feet, and bring it in if you can. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, forward fold. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, and release. Gentle windshield wipers. Okay, making sure my microphone's still working. Yes. Okay. All right, so we're gonna move on to a bit of a core. So it's called Nirvasana, and it's boat pose because we're gonna try to move our body in different directions. And so I just wanted to do some core. We did some lateral bends. We changed our hip positions and our knee position to help opening up our hips. So with this pose, so we're gonna do it simple. You go ahead, bring your toes parallel to each other, go slanted. Maybe you can see it better that way. And you can stay here with your hands to the side and really engage through your core. And if you want more, you can bring your feet up a little bit, wherever feels comfortable, or extend, but not falling back, engaging and bringing your body up. Okay. So let's go ahead. Just one moment when you get something going. So let's go ahead. We'll do 3 of these. Usually you do 5 of them. So you're going to go ahead and bring your feet up wherever you feel comfortable. Today, this is where I'm at, and I'm okay with it. Bring your chest up. Lift your heels if you can. 2. Bring your knees in. 3, 4, and 5. Cross your feet. Bring your hands by your hips and just lift. And if you want to, you can use a block or 2 hard pillows if you don't have blocks. Going ahead again. Lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We struggle together. And lift. Come back up one more time. We've got this. 1, 2. Really engage through the core. 3, 4, 5. Cross and lift. And you can move your blocks to the side. We can go ahead and bring our feet into Baddha Konasana, which is our butterfly pose. So you could just bring your feet in front for a moment and bring both your soles of your feet touching, knees out to the side. And what I like to do is put a pillow or blocks to the sides. And the goal of the feet, alignment cue. 1 sole feet distance from your groin. If you're not there, it's okay. Just as long as you always remember that as you progress, you bring your feet in to 1 foot distance from your seat. Now take your hands and look at your beautiful feet. Open it up like it's a book. Noticing all the details of this beautiful book of life that the feet walks through. Now we're going to do an inhale, lengthening through the spine, A position. And now we're going to keep our spine nice and straight, bringing our elbows towards the sides and bringing your chin down. Chin to feet. It doesn't have to end up there. It's just you're putting the energy as if it's going there. And breathing again. Two. Relax your shoulders. 3. 4. And 5. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, B position. Now you're going to round your spine. And the goal is to bring your forehead to your feet. You could just envision it. I envision it. I can't do it, but it's okay. So I say inhale, a lengthen, and I exhale, and I drop my head and I round. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, lengthen to the spine. Exhale. And move your blocks if you did what I did. And we're just going to go ahead and do some windshield wipers. And so did a lot of forward, like rounding. We're just going to open our chest nice and open. So bring it across your feet and just bring your chest forward and open. And round again. Open and round. And release. Now we're going to do Upravishta Konasana. So these are a lot. So we're just doing one more pose of this, and then we're going to move into a couple of closing poses. So Upravishta Konasana is basically a wide leg seated forward fold. So you bring your legs nice and wide as wherever is comfortable. It doesn't have to be fully wide where you're really feeling tension. Just wide enough that it feels comfortable. You could flex your feet and you grab where you feel comfortable, maybe here, maybe the sides of your feet, wherever you feel comfortable. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, forward fold. And breathing here. If you have to micro bend your knees, that's okay. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale. Exhale. And cross your feet. So we're going to go ahead and do some closing poses. So with Ashtanga Vinyasa, you do your Sun A, your Sun B, which is your warm-up, right? And that's the Vinyasa one after the other 5 times, and 3 to 5 times with B. Then we do standing poses. Then we move into seated poses, left and right with the Vinyasa between each side. And then you keep working through that. And then you meet a point where you're in closing. Now, with the tradition of Ashtanga Vinyasa is Mysore style. So if you were to go to a Mysore style class, you may think this is an intense practice, but the teacher will guide you through Sun A, Sun B, and make sure you're able to do that well. And then they'll slowly add on 1 or 2 postures here and there as your practice develops. And as soon as your practice starts to develop, they say, okay, you're good with this pose, you look good alignment. They'll move you on to the next pose, and they'll slowly build you up till the end of the series. But what the teachers, what I've learned from my practice and taking a bunch of Mysore classes, and also my lineage of yoga, Ashtanga Vinyasa, and knowing how to teach that style, you would slowly see how the student grows with their practice, and you see their transformation. And you would do sun A, sun B, and go right to closing postures. Sun A, sun B, a couple of postures, and then go right to closing. So you learn the vinyasas, the sun salutation A, sun salutation B, and then you go right into the closing. So you learn the closing poses. So some of the closing poses are bridge or wheel, chakrasana, and then you'd move on to back bend where you really backdrops. I can't do those yet, but I'm practicing that. Then you move on to shoulder stand, Salamba Sarvangasana. Then you do Shirshasana, and then you move on to a few seated poses. So let's go ahead and get onto our mat, and we're gonna lay down, and we're gonna do variation, we're doing modifications today. So lay on your back, feet are hip distance wide, okay? Knees up towards the sky. Take a block or a pillow and lift your hip and bring it underneath, wherever level feels right. It can be flat, this level, or higher. Now make sure you're putting the block where your sacrum is, not on your spine. And you put your hands out and you breathe here for 5 breaths. Three, 4, and 5. Now, if you want to stay here, you can. If you want to do more, you could just stay here, or we can move on into our next one is bridge without the block. So take your hands and you kind of bring your hands to kind of touch your heels. You kind of feel like, okay, it's a good alignment there. Feet are still hip distance wide, knee up towards the sky. Take your hands, interlace and lift your hips and bringing your shoulders under and lifting your hips up towards the sky. And you're going to breathe here. Engaging through your back body, your glutes, quads, squeezing. 3, 4, and 5. And release. And the last pose is if you want to do more, and we could do bridge again, but if you want to do wheel, Urva Dhanurasana, you'll bring your hands, make sure hands are good, okay. Hands are by your ears, okay? Now you're making sure you're bringing your elbows in. You're not bringing it out to the side. You're keeping it engaged and in. Then you go ahead and ground through your spine and kind of make your body like a cheerleader, okay? All right. And then you're going to lift, ground through your feet and squeeze and lift. Bring your feet in, back parallel. And then bring your chest forward. 1, 2, squeeze. 3, 4, and 5. Drop onto your head. And then slowly come down. Knees into chest. And rock side to side. Send your legs above, cross your feet, and come back up. Just take a moment here. And that is a big heart opener. So emotions might come up, feelings might come up, and it's normal. And it's just your body holds on to so much emotions. And for me right now, I feel the energy of things releasing. So it feels emotional and it's fine. But just note that this is normal with yoga practice, that they don't really tell you. Just breathe through it. And as we sit here, we're just going to do a twist. Inhale, palms up. Exhale, twist to your right side. And really elongate your spine and twist and look behind. You're twisting from your chest and your abdomen, not your neck. Inhale, palms up, and switch. And release. The next pose is shoulder stand. So the next two poses, if this may be uncomfortable for you, if you have high pressures in your eyes, like glaucoma, hypertension that's not controlled, severe heart disease, pregnant, menstruating, maybe some neck. For example, you have like some severe neck injury, like you've had issues with your neck, not like a neck pain where you slept last night and you woke up and your neck's kind of tight. It's totally fine. With any type of neck injury, I would prefer that you lay on your back in Shavasana, or you can watch. So when you do overcome those elements, you can try them. But some modifications for you would be the first pose with shoulder stand. I'll show you that one. And then when we do Shirshasana headstand, I'll show you a great modification to build your strength. So when you're ready to do those poses, you can. So let's start with shoulder stand. So Salamba Sarvangasana. So bring your feet parallel to each other. And then we're going to go ahead and lift our legs up and put our hands underneath our lower back and bring our elbows in. Point your toes, engage through your spine and your core. We'll breathe here for a count of 15. Or whatever feels comfortable for you. If you come out of it, it's okay. Just go into Shavasana where you lay on your back. If that's too much, you can go into child's pose. 10. Engage. 9. Bring your hands down. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. Now keep your head straight. Don't turn your neck. Just listen to what I'm saying. Drop your feet behind your head. And it doesn't have to touch the ground. And just support your lower back, because you don't want to turn your neck in this pose. Keep your neck nice and straight. And breathe here. Always supporting your lower back. See, today, I'm very tight, so my feet can't touch the ground. Now, do I get upset? No. I remind myself that this is practice. Some days your body can do certain things, some days your body can't, and we don't judge the body. We accept the body as how it is. 2 more breaths. And slowly bring your feet back into shoulder stance and slowly come down vertebra by vertebra. Okay, perfect. Extending your legs. And everyone can join in fish pose, Matsyasana. This will help really open up your chest, a nice open back bend. So go ahead and bring your palms underneath your seat onto the side. And then what I do is I go onto my forearms.
And then I take my head, I drop it back, and make sure my head touches the ground. If I can't, I can always put a block. Now, 90% of the weight is on your forearms. 10% is on your head. Really opening up the chest. Just slide your hands down, you can. This is really great. Your lungs are fully open, your rib cage. So this is a great time to take really slow and deep breaths. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And slowly release. And bringing your knees into chest for just a moment. And rock side to side. And slowly come up into seated position. Take a moment. Follow your breath. Close your eyes again. And no matter where you are in your journey, even if this is your first practice, be proud of yourself. And noticing things shifting and moving, just reminding yourself you are perfect just the way you are. And don't let anyone take that away from you. And slowly open your eyes. The next pose is called Shirshasana, headstand. It's very scary to think about it. It took me over a year to be able to even fathom the emotions to trust myself. So what I've learned is different drills that really helped me. And I felt stronger. I felt more trust within myself. And it helped me. And I want to share that with you. Inversions are very good for the mind and the body. But if you have neck injury, hypertension, heart disease, high pressures in your eye like glaucoma, pregnant, menstruating, I don't recommend you doing it unless you're with a teacher in front. If you're in a class where you're with a teacher. But if headstands in your practice, we can do that. You can start right now. And if it's not in your practice, let's walk through it today. So we're going to do a warm-up drill for this. And we're going to start with dolphin pose. So it's kind of like your downward facing dog, but you're on your forearms. So you're going to take your hands, interlace them, okay? That's the goal. And what's going to happen, you take your thumb and you feel a spot of your head that's kind of like flat. That's where you put your head on. You're not putting your head here. You're not putting your head on the side. It's on the flat portion of your head. So now, grab onto opposite upper arm and feel that. Okay? Then we take our palms, our elbows, and bring it down. Okay? So that's a good alignment right there. And you make a triangle with the basket of your hands. Okay? And then you take your head where you notice where that is and you kind of feel it. Kind of feel where that is. Okay? And support your head. And your goal is to really push through your forearm and protract your shoulder. You want to minimize the amount of weight on your head. So you really got to push your forearms down onto the ground. So you're not collapsing. You're pushing and engaging. See that difference? Not here. We're here. And pushing onto those forearms.
I'm going to show you from the side. Dolphin. Go ahead and walk your feet in. Walk your feet in. Walk your feet in. Now, wherever feels comfortable, and stay here. And maybe that's your dolphin, is focusing on engaging. If that's too difficult, you can stay here and go forward, looking over the cliff and coming back. That's another option too, just to get strength. Do a couple of those. And if you're ready, go here and go forward and back. Or we just stay here. Okay. And if that's where you're at, practice that, stay in those poses and do that for a bit to get used to that comfort. And it takes time. I wanted to introduce it today just to give you some time to see where you're at. And it's okay. I was there. And not that I'm not there. Some days I can't do the headstand practice. That's okay. So I do those poses. And I love it, even though it's hard. Okay. So let's now break it down to walking in to a headstand position. Now, what I recommend you doing is getting a wall. Making sure you have a wall with you today to practice. I don't see a wall here for myself. Okay. I trust that you have a wall, a nice wall that you're sitting forward on. So if you need a moment, get a wall. I wish I had one. I don't have one. Okay. So you're here, basking in your hands again, putting your head back on the ground, and you're tucking your toes in, and you're just walking your feet and making sure you're on that hard part of your head. If at any point it feels uncomfortable, just come out of the pose and go into child's pose. So go ahead, walk it in. Walk it in, and then walk it back out. Your goal is to get your hips over your shoulders. Walk it in, walk it in, walk it in, walk it in, and walk it back out. Keep practicing walking that in. And maybe bend one foot in, bend one foot in, and walk it back out. Keep practicing that sensation of walking your feet in, walking your feet. Bending one foot, next foot, and walking it back down. Go into child's pose here. Okay, let's try it. Let's try to see if we can walk into the headstand today. If you do feel comfortable and you feel you can do it. Trusting your body. And if you're home, you have someone to spot you, that would be awesome. Or just rewatch this video again too. So go ahead and basket your hands, making sure you're here. Triangle. Dropping your head, nice little basket. And then pushing and protracting my shoulders. And then I walk. And I walk. And then if you keep walking, you'll feel lightness. See, my feet kind of light. And I could tuck my feet in, or I can extend one leg in and slowly come up. If that's not it, it's okay. You can walk in, walk in, walk in, walk in. You can bring your feet in like this and stay here for a bit. And then maybe the next time you go here. And there's a point where you balance. There's like no weight. And I'm pushing onto my forearms. And then you come back the same way you came up. And always lay into child's pose. And feel your breath. And slowly come into seated. And go ahead and stretching your neck one side And switching. Turning your head over your shoulders, slowly and gently. Front and back. Maybe do circles one way. And maybe the other way. Okay, so now we're going to get into a cross-legged position. And you can sit here. And if you know how to do lotus, you can do lotus. But we'll sit here with a regular cross-legged position. And these are 3 of the last poses. So go ahead and take your hands. And I just cross my legs and I put one hand behind, the other hand behind. Inhale, lengthen through my spine. And exhale, go forward and drop my head. You're grabbing opposite elbow. And breathing here. We'll breathe here for 10 of your own breaths. Really drop the head if that's comfortable for you. Release through the shoulders. And whenever you're ready, slowly come back up. Bringing both of your palms in chin mudra. Index finger and thumb is touching. You bring it out to the top of your chest, and you're bringing your chest forward. And you bring your chin into Janandara, to throat lock. Your chin goes to your chest. You're engaging through your pelvic floor, your Uddiyana Bandha, your belly, in and up, and your throat, which is the 3 locks. And you're going to breathe here for 10 breaths. And slowly come back up. And Uplutihi is where you lift. Put your hands by the side of your sit bone. Just lift. You can lift here. If you're in lotus, it's a little bit easier. And just lift for a count of 10. Knees towards your belly. And then release here. And get into a cross-legged position. And we're going to go ahead and follow our breath again. Putting your hands at the palm center. I'm going to do closing mantra of Ashtanga Vinyasa. Inhale for 1 Om. Inhale. Om. Swasti prajabhyaha palipalayantam. Nayena margena mahi mahisraha. Go brahmanebhyaha sumastu nityam. Loka samastaha sukhino bhavantu. Om shanti shanti shanti. Om peace, peace, peace. May all be well with mankind. May the leaders of the world stick to the right path. May all those who know the earth to be sacred and free be happy and free. May all beings be happy and free. Peace, 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 peace. Let me know how you're feeling in this moment. And if you're ready, after this practice, I recommend you laying in Shavasana for at least 5 to 10 minutes to really seal the energy of the practice. And I will go ahead and look at any comments.
Okay, awesome. Have a wonderful day.